Okay, so this is now live. Hi everyone, and this is Bruno Souza, and directly for the Code for Life initiative. We're traveling around Germany here, and also going to visit Switzerland and Spain. And looks like we're going to have a quick little detour to Italy to visit several countries here in Europe to talk about Java and containers, and especially talk about cool people in this area here that are doing amazing things. And sorry for this last minute thing, and that's gonna happen several times during this week, because we're gonna find cool people that we're not pre-planning. And when we do this, we're just gonna invite you. And if you can't join on the time that we invite you, you can always watch this later, right? And so I have here today, first of all, you know Ruslan already, right? He was in the previous discussion. So Ruslan introduced me to Timo, right? And Timo is the founder of a very cool company, that's dogado. I honestly, I'm from Brazil, I'm not from Germany, so I didn't know dogado before I came here. And it's a partner from Jelastic. But the story is very nice. Timo is one of the founders of the company, and he was a sysadmin when he decided to found the company. Very successful today, and so we thought it was really interesting to see a little bit of his history, because it's not easy to be a nerd, right? And to get out of your computer and actually decide to open a company. And when you have one that did this successfully, it's really nice we can talk about it. So I'm very glad that you're here with us. Remember that you can type your questions. I have a computer here on my side. I'll be looking around to the computer to ask the whole idea is to allow you to ask questions to these guys. So Timo, it was very nice. First of all, thanks for receiving us here in your office. And it's an amazing seat, Dortmund, right? And it looks like, from what I hear, it looks like Dortmund is like a technology hub around here, because so many things happen here, right?
Yeah, right. That's one of the main hotspots in technology in Germany, I would say. Also from Berlin, of course.
Right. Okay. That's really cool. So I'm very glad that we're here. Cesar is saying that glad to be here too. Thanks. So if you're listening to us, if you want to tell us where you're from, right? Because we're finding people from all over the world around here. So tell us from where you're from. I know Cesar is from Brazil. So hi, Cesar. Nice to have you here. So Timo, so you founded dogado, right? Can you tell us what dogado is?
Dogado was founded in 2001, and we migrated to GmbH in Germany in 2006, and I'm one of the co-founders of dogado. Mm-hmm. We start as a hosting provider and grow very fast to a cloud boutique. So we deliver the perfect suite to our customers for the infrastructure, like hosting, server, cloud services, Microsoft services.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But so now you're competing in a very complicated market, right? All the cloud providers, especially that you have cloud providers that are not here in Germany. That's like worldwide cloud providers. And I'm sure it's not an easy market to be, right? But you're here, you have a special relationship with your customers, you speak the language. It's not like me that I don't speak any German, right? So you speak the language, and how can you actually compete with all those big players?
From my point of view, it's the main point that we are closer to our customers. We speak the language, we know their needs. Mm-hmm. And we have in Germany a very strong privacy law that we can compete with. We can deliver our services in this frame of law. And I think that's one of the main points, that we are fast, flexible, maybe cheaper.
Okay, that's good.
Better than others.
Cheaper is always good, yes. Okay, and so I see here there's Tushar from Nagpur, India. He showed up. So hi Tushar. So I think there is, for the nerd entrepreneur, I think we need to find what is the biggest. A lot of times we see a market that we would like to participate, and then we think, oh, we're so small, we can't be part of this market, we can't do this, we don't have the investment, we don't have the money, or we don't have the reach. But a lot of times the markets, right? You know your market, you know your potential customers, and you can be like you did, right? You found the right differential that you have. So now when you found dogado, you were like a sysadmin, right?
Yeah, correct.
And so you're there. hacking your computer, kind of administering your own server and everything. How hard it was to get out of this mindset of being hacking and actually get into the mindset of being an entrepreneur and risking things and go and talk to customers, understand what they need. How did you change this mindset?
I would say go automatically. You start a company and then customers come to you, ask you for some solutions, for some special things you have to do. We're focused on managed server and services at the beginning, because we see many customers need their own servers, need their own infrastructure, but are not able to manage them by their own. And that's where we go to in this market. And then the rest is growing and go automatically. And then you have to see where you fit in your company.
And what do you mean by you fit in your company? Because you had difficulty in fitting your own company?
Yeah, I start as CEO, founder and CEO, and I'm a step back.
Okay.
And today I'm responsible for the whole customer success team. So that's my position at my company where I'm a shareholder today.
So this is really interesting. So because you're on the founder, so you end up being the CEO. And I think Ruslan, you had the same issue, right?
Yeah, you're also in the same situation.
Right. So you're also technical guys. So both of you you're technical guys. You found the company, and then somehow you get to be the CEO. But the CEO is a guy that handle taxes, handle sales, handle customers, and he handles all kinds of crazy things that has nothing to do with technology, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And so how do you I'll let you talk later, but Timo, how did you actually did you like to be in this position it was hard?
It was not hard for me, and I love it today to be in this position, because I love our customers and I love to communicate with them over any way: Twitter, Facebook, travel tickets, email, by phone, on face-to-face. So that's my I think you say obsession.
Right, but that's your position today, right?
That's my position today.
The one that you're doing with the customer. I'm saying, you started as a CEO, right? And then, so the CEO is a big guy, is the guy that tells everyone needs to do, and you step it down from that position. Yeah, so being a CEO, how do you like it?
I love it too, but if your company should be grow and should be more successfully, you need people, experts on any position.
Right.
They focus on one thing, and that's doing very well. And that's what the nature of a growing company, that any employee find his position.
Right. So I think this is very courageous from you, right? To actually be the CEO of the company, be like, the big guy that tells everything, and then you decided to, okay, I'll let someone else run the company. Because you're all the founder that's run the company, or you kind of bring someone from the outside?
We was funding by a bigger company, and in this situation, we need some guys who can handle this growth of our company.
Right.
And that was a natural step.
Right. So you actually brought someone from the outside. It was not part of the original team. That requires a whole lot of work.
It's not almost like that.
No. So
I know just whole story like so. This is
right. So how about you?
That person was like very close to the company.
Yeah. I know.
The person who is CEO today was very close to the company and was following all what the company does.
Right.
And
he also come into the company before the funding. So we worked together several years, and that's.
Okay, so Brass is commenting here that the leadership is a lonely activity, right? Yes, I guess it is. So Ruslan, you went through the same thing, right? You were, but you're a little bit different, because you're the CEO, and then you step it down to become from being the CEO. You put someone else being the CEO, and then you're forced again to become the CEO again, right? So how did that work?
Okay, so in our case, why we were looking for a CEO, for a new CEO, because sometimes you can grow organically, and sometimes you can grow synthetically, right?
Yes, really fast, right?
Yeah, and for that, you need to inject something inside your company that has much bigger power, or much bigger experience. In that case, it was our new CEO, because that guy came from a big enterprise industry, and we started as a startup. We didn't know how to handle many stuff like processes,
Right.
And that guy helped us to improve internal processes. He taught me how to deal with investors, how to deal with the customers, like, and so on. Like, so I learned a lot from him.
Right.
So this was the reason. Like, and honestly, that was very happy time for me because I was focusing only one specific thing, like, you know, like on technology.
Right.
Yeah. So when my sleep was well, like, and so on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we learned it a lot, like, and we started to move forward, like, and today again, I'm again CEO, but it doesn't mean that tomorrow I will be CEO. I mean, like, I will be forever CEO.
Right.
So honestly, like, it's sometimes again, it's much better to bring a much stronger person.
Right.
You know, like.
But you put back into the CEO position.
Right.
By your investors, right? Because they wanted, wasn't it like this?
Do you want to know the whole story?
No, not the whole story. I'm just saying, you're people kind of thought that you should come back to the position. Yes. Because of your vision, right?
Right, vision, like, and not some, I suggested like another plan to grow the company, like, because I thought, again, we learned a lot, but we did not solve some issues still,
right.
Like, and I figure out, okay, like, how we can solve this, like, how we can move faster, spend less, like, so be more efficient. Like.
Right. So one of the things that I've learned running my companies is that a lot of times, we're the technical guys, and I think you guys, your story kind of mimics this, is that, you're just a technical guy, and then you come in and you have all those vision, and then sometimes you try to let other people do some of the things because you can't do everything, right? Of course. Exactly. And then a lot of times you don't know how to communicate that vision to everyone else in the team. And so the whole company kind of suffers because they don't have the vision that you have. And then sometimes you kind of have to get get back into putting everyone your regional vision, so you actually can move forward, right? And so that's one of the things that we see a lot of the very technical people is that sometimes they don't know how to do presentations, or they don't know how to market themselves. So they don't know how to present their vision in a good way, and then they end up being not be able to transfer that vision to the rest of the company, right? And so I think that you guys were very successful in transferring your vision to the rest of the company. So that's how the company grows.
Yeah. So this is one important point, like, to deliver your vision to the team. Another point was that I believe you need to bring people that are much more stronger than you in specific direction, right? Like, because you cannot be the best guy in everything.
Right.
Like, and it's strange if you are the best in everything. Like, yes. It means you hire like strange people. Like,
no. Yes, if you are the best guy in everything, you probably hire very weak people. Right?
Yes. So this is the point.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the audience here. So Braz is saying, Timo, what is your hack for any nerd that want to start their own business?
Do it. That's the only you can do. Yeah. Do it. And no fear, do it. Yeah.
Definitely. So if I knew everything what will happen, right, I would think like 3, 5, 10 times.
Right. Yes.
You will fail often, but you have to stand up at every time and do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think you touched like a very important point. Don't fear. Right. And I think there's a lot of times we don't do the things that we need to do because we're afraid. Right, and that's in a lot of times in your life. Sometimes you don't study for a test because you think it's too complicated. So you don't study because you think you're not going to learn. You don't deliver your academic paper because you think it's too complicated. So you end up not doing it. Or you don't deliver your software because you think it's going to fail. So you don't deliver. And then in the end, you don't do anything. Right, and that's the same thing for a company, right? You want to build your own company, and you're afraid, it's not going to work. I can't, I'm going to lose my job or something, and then in the end you don't do it, and then your dream doesn't go anywhere.
Good point. And you mentioned dream. Dream is important because it's not just do. You need to dream. You need to have a goal, personal goal, right? Because you need to do the risk and the rest for something, like, right? Because in my case, I remember very nice, very, very good story. Like, I was walking with my wife, like, and I told her, like, like, at some days we will compete with Google. I told him, you are crazy. Like, yes, I am. Like, you know, like, and
Yeah,
today,
because
in some way, of course, we don't compete with the whole Google, right? Like,
right.
But in cloud computing, like direction, like we are on the same area, like, right? So, yeah, dream and dream bigger. Like.
It's kind of crazy because both of your companies are in this space that huge companies are,
right?
And there's a lot of consolidation because companies are being acquired and disappear and everything. And even then, you had a different vision, something special you could do to a niche market. So the whole idea, the whole thing of finding the exact customer, because of course you have some differentiation that you can offer, but you can offer to a specific kind of customer, right? It's not every customer they're going to see this differentiation. So how do you find this niche, this group of customers that you actually can be very good for them?
Best is to solve a problem you have, and mostly it's a problem other people, other companies have too. So I think that's the same you do with Jelastic.
Yep.
You solve a problem you had in your previous company,
yep.
And I think that's a trick.
Yep.
It is a trick.
Yeah, so you need to solve first of all your own problem, right? Yeah. Because if you solve something abstract, like it's very hard to figure out, like do you do something real, like, or just imagination, like, right? So don't afraid, build something, go to the market, like, and present to the market, get a feedback. It's very important. Like. And second thing, how to compete with big guys, right? Like, from my experience, there are so many different experiences, but from my experience, it's a cooperation. So we cooperate together with dogado, for example, right? So we build what we know the best, and dogado does what they didn't know the best, like infrastructure management, customer support, like, right, like. Everything related to customer support, like, right? And we focus on the software, like, so we have good expertise. Like.
Yeah. So basically, both companies here, your partners, you get to deliver some experience and product to your end customer. A lot of people want to do, and I get this all the time. Developers that come to me and say, "Oh, I have this great idea, but I can't tell you." And said, okay. So because a lot of people think like, oh, if I tell someone, they're going to steal my idea, they're going to steal my partner on this. But actually, you guys are showing that you can partner together, you can share your ideas with others, and this actually make your idea more powerful than less powerful.
Yes, exactly. So like if you're afraid that someone will steal your idea, like it's if nobody knows about your idea, like it means like it's not real, right? Like it's in your mind, like it's not real,
right?
So, but it happens. It happens. Sometimes I think our competitors read our documentation, right? Like, yeah, it happens. But like what can you do? Just move faster,
right?
Like, and put more efforts, like move faster, like be ahead.
Do it faster or do it better.
Yeah, do it better. Yeah, definitely.
And you think that the partnership for you has worked not only with Jelastic but with other companies? The whole idea of having partners is helping you.
You can't stand alone. You need partners. You need strong partners, and you need to go together forward. So that's the nature of business.
So with this little conversation here, we already know that you gotta communicate well. You gotta be able to hire good people. You gotta be able to find partners. You gotta be able to find the exact customer and find your niche. And you have to solve a problem. I mean, there's a lot of things you got to do to be successful. So now, Brass is saying, from all the things we talk about, even in others that we didn't talk about, speaking about the future, what is the most important behavior or skill that nerds should be aware to develop on? I mean, what should they improve so they could be successful?
Okay. So from my point of view, it's ability to adjust your mind and to improve yourself. To learn new things. Because if you do every day the same stuff, you will be at the same point, like through a couple of years, like from 10 years. Like, so you need to improve yourself, right? Learn and improve yourself. This is my advice.
Yeah. Improve everything, and if you see a problem, think about it and solve the underlying issue, not the problem itself. So solve the what's the meaning of Wurzel? Yeah, solve the problem, make it better, and solve the root cause.
Right, the root cause, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this remember something that shared yesterday on Facebook. There's a friend of mine posted and I shared that he was talking about, when you have those big lines in front of night parties, right? And there's all kinds of applications to solve the line problem. And you're saying, that's not a problem to solve, because the guy that actually makes money is the guy inside is the owner of the party, right? You're trying to solve the problem of the customer, and that guy doesn't see, the guy that makes money, the guy that could pay you, he doesn't see that as a problem. He likes the fact there's lots of people in the front, right? So all the applications that are trying to help people move faster the line they're trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist, because the guy that actually can pay is the guy that's not interested to solve the problem. So a lot of times you have to see what is the exact problem that you have to solve, because just kind of solving, I think who said that? I think Henry Ford that said, right, that if you're trying to solve the problem, if you ask people what they want faster horses, right? So sometimes you have to think outside and try to find the root problem to see. And not only that, to try to find on that market, to solving that problem, how you actually make money, right?
Yeah, you need to be in the front of the line and do it better. Don't make strong horses, make faster cars, and make it easier for your customers.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Agree. Completely. So you need to solve the root of the issue.
Right. Okay. So I think we're kind of running out of time here because we still have another person to talk to. But we're talking to lots of developers here and trying to incentivize them to improve their careers and to move. So if you had to do one thing, I think I asked this question during the previous webinar to Ruslan, but so I'm going to ask to you. If you'd suggest to the guys, one thing they should learn, one thing they should do, or one thing they should focus this year, right? We are about near the middle of the year. We still have 6 months ahead of the time. So what they should do during this year that you think would really improve their careers? I mean, maybe what was your major breakthrough, or the thing that you did to say, that thing I did completely changed my career?
Don't fear and talk about problems. Be open, talk to everything, and handle any problem open so others can help you. Okay, so you think that at some point in your career you're not doing this and you change it? Yes, definitely.
Okay.
As we start with a small company, I am the CEO and I'm the leader, and often I solve problems on my own way. Mm-hmm. Don't talk to others about this, and I think that was a wrong way.
Right. Yeah. And then you kind of got into bigger problems. Yeah.
Then. So be open, talk to your teams, talk to your partners about problems you have. I think that's the way.
Right. One thing that I think is very funny is that I'm a father. I have 2 daughters, and a lot of times when we talk about these things about career and advice like this, it's a lot of things that we are trying to teach our kids, right? Because you get your kid and he gets involved in a problem, so he gets home and instead of telling you, he lies and he tries to solve the problem on his own, and then the problem becomes really big when he gets back a week later. It's like, what? And you're trying to teach them, don't get into bigger problems. Just tell us, explain, we can help. And so it's a lot of times this like common sense that we grow up and we don't apply, right? Yeah.
So this happens when people don't want to solve the problem. So if they don't want to solve the problem, they will tell you everything, but not about the root of the problem.
Right.
To run a company is teamwork.
Teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Well, there's a few questions here. Great discussion. Thanks for sharing. Brad saying this. Then Ronaldo is saying, speaking of motivation, what was the trigger point that you didn't know you wanted to create your own business?
Good question.
I don't know. I knew about that from the beginning. Like, I knew that I will have something on.
No, but I know your story more. So you're saying that it's you're doing things inside the aerospatial center, right? And you wanted to improve the way you're doing things, and you figure out a way to do it better, right? So wasn't that the moment that you thought I should,
motivation to have a company?
That's not the motivation. So like, what is the point that you find out that, okay, now I think I need to build a company to solve that problem?
Okay, I see.
When was the trigger point to say, okay, now I need to build a business? Because before you're happy, being a hacker, being a developer, and everything. Then suddenly, oh, I need to build a business. Why was that happen?
So honestly, I did not think this point happened like it was not like that one day.
Right.
Like, So, but when I realized, okay, I can do that. So when happened that? That happened when I figure out, okay, I can solve big problems now for customers,
right?
And they are happy. You know, they come to me more often and ask for more. At that point, I figure out, okay, I can do more. So, and maybe it's a good time to start a company. And in my situation, I was working like 2 years over the night, like, you know, because I had a job and I had a hobby, right? Like, and my wife again, like, told me I'm crazy,
right?
But I was working on this hobby. And after that, my hobby became my job because investors found me and said like, oh, this guy is crazy. We love crazy guys. So, yeah, like, so this is how it happened in my situation.
Nice. Okay, how about you, Tina?
From my point, I've worked 7 years for a really big company with more than, I think, 200,000 employees.
Oh man,
and
it
was every day the same work. It was nice, but it was every day the same. Same problem, same people, same problem, same people every day. And I start my company as a hobby too. And after, I think, 3 or 4 years, I think I have to stop my normal work and focus on my company.
I see.
So to be more free.
Okay.
Yeah, almost, you know, you can see like, so invest in your hobby, right? As we discussed in the previous session, do what you love, right? And if you do that, you will be a happy person,
right?
Yeah.
Because you spend more time on stuff that you like, not on stuff that you hate, right? Like, so and it gives you a feeling of happiness, like actually, this from my point of view.
Okay, so Ronaldo is saying thanks for sharing. So thanks a lot, Ronaldo, for your question. Now, we got to go out of here because we have a Jobbies group visit to do, right? And one of the things, I'll tell you one thing. One of the things that when you're doing a trip like this and you're meeting a lot of people along the way, looks like you're always late, right? Because there's always one more thing to do, right? So I'm going to switch gears here completely. So Tino, I'd like to thank you a lot. Not only, thanks for having us here. So thanks a lot for supporting this trip and supporting developers. So thanks a lot for your work.
Great.
You want to say?
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I think it's time for.
Yes, Frank is on the phone now.
How long will it take?
Yes, we're finished here in a few minutes and then we go. Yes.
So we already.
We're on the way, right? Yes. Right. Yeah. Okay, so guys, we're a few more minutes. So Tino, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
And Frank, come on here, really quick.
Okay.
All right.
Best for the West, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Frank, you're telling me that you are a Java developer for a long time. You're saying almost 20 years, right? And so Java was 20 years last year. So you know you've been around since the very, very beginning. And and now you're an architect. You're working on all different projects. So what in those 20 years of your Java career, right? What is the thing that you think was like, oh man, this was the best thing I did in my career that turned me into the developer I am today?
Oh, I think the best thing will still to come.
No,
also for me and for Java. The best thing was really to get on the train with Java. So really good to learn and to have challenging projects. So and also the wait don't end. It will also be in the cloud. So there is also Java with me. So this was the best decision.
Okay, so
get on this train.
Yeah, so you got into Java when it was really early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know it was a hard decision at the moment, I guess.
Yeah. The best thing was GDBC to get part of Java, so I get on the database data.
Okay.
So.
All right, and so you think that for a developer to be successful, should they be looking right now? So the same thing that you did, should they be looking for the new technology or the new stuff that's going to happen to try to get on the bandwagon, when it's early enough, or you think there was like a lucky moment that we all had? Because I was like you. I got into the bandwagon at the right time, I think. But so do we need to wait for this technology, or is this something we can do even if the new technology doesn't show up?
Yeah, you have to pay to stay hungry still,
right?
And also to learn a lot. Also in the Java user groups, not only Java, so also other languages are also welcome. So we can learn a lot from each other. But also in defense of boring, Grady Booch have written a good post about it. Also, we have to be thankful what is in quality and what is in standards, and so.
Right. Yes.
Sometimes we only want to have the next big thing.
Right. Yes, I remember James Gosling talks a lot about this. That's a lot of times, what we want from a VM, for example, is that it's very boring, right? Yeah. We don't want the VM to do anything crazy anytime.
But
right?
It's a big value.
Yes, it's a big value to be boring. Like, it's like when you're flying on an airplane. The thing that you want is that to be a very boring trip, right? You don't want anything happening in the trip. Right?
No experiment.
Yeah. Okay. So and so one of the project you're telling me that it looks like you're working on all kinds of projects, but one of the projects you're telling me is like a high profile project for sports, right? Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah. This is about for the German tennis players, so to get in touch and also to get to know the tennis player before the court. So what have strong hand and what racket he has, and so and it's a little bit gamification of sports, physics and real get together. So real life and yeah.
So do you think that this is because I think this is similar to what we do in Java user groups, for example, right? We get all this technology and everything, and we bring into real life because we make friends, we travel, we kind of make relationships and everything. So how important do you think this relationship between the people are for the technology world, for us? Because a lot of times we see the guys they consider themselves nerds, and they say, oh, I'm an introvert, I don't go to events because I don't want to talk with anyone, or even worse, the guy pays to go to the events and they go there, he sits, he watches the talk, he gets up, he goes home, he doesn't talk with anyone. Isn't the social part as important?
There is no substitute for a real experience. You can't have a compression algorithm, it's a quote from Amazon, for experience. There is no, you have to have time, you have to walk with others and to talk and eat, and so
right.
It's all on this, not on a virtual. So even we have only possibility to talk about the internet now. So
yeah. Otherwise you talk just only to GVM, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you write to computer, so, and you need to
get lost.
Yeah, you need to check, okay, where are you, right now, what is your level, and what kind of problem other people solve, right?
And the responsibility will be also more. Especially in the IoT thing, I had a project for cows, for dairy, and we can't wait for a moment to fix the bug, because the cow wanted to give the milk. And so it was very different from the web project. So we have to build quality and robustness in it, so to be prepared for bug.
It's really funny, right? Because you're giving an interesting example. Because the cow can't wait because the cow is giving out the money. I mean the milk, right? So you can't, if there is a bug in the software, we need to fix and deploy it as fast as you can. You can't be waiting. And it's funny that a lot of projects, there is a bug, you find out there's a bug, you fix it, and then you put it in the repository, and then it sits in the repository for 6 months until it gets deployed. So for 6 months, the customers are suffering because that bug is still happening for them for 6 months, right? So what can we do to reduce the time that we fix the bug and put it in production?
Yeah, to be prepared to have the processes, DevOps and automation and so, but also in mind in the design. I'm also architect, so you must have a plan B, but already built in the software.
Right.
Yeah, so I believe right architecture can help.
Yeah.
Processes architecture. So if you design your application in the right way, you divide it on small pieces, it's much easier to update the small pieces.
Right.
So people today call it microservices.
Small business, This was also a good quote. They have 10,000 lines of code to fly to the moon. What do we do with 10,000 lines of code? in Java. What can we do?
Right.
Can be a microservice? Yeah, can be.
Yeah.
So automation, divide on small pieces and automate everything. Right? More test quality assurance. So.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So we are really running out of time because we should be in the user group right now, and of course we need to run there, and you're going to be there with us, right? So so we're going to have all the chance to talk and talk about it. But I really want to ask you, you know, all of those people that are watching us, they're interested in improving their careers. I think one of the there's a lot of things that we can do, but you mentioned responsibility, right? We can have responsibility for a lot of things, but one of the things that we must have responsibility for our own career. A lot of developers, a lot of people, kind of they outsource their responsibility for their career to someone else. Oh, my wife is going to tell me what to do. You know, my friends are going to invite me to come into events. Oh, my boss is going to send me to a training course, right? So you know, you wait someone else to decide what you're going to do for your career. But your career is your career. You have to be completely responsible for it. Right. So what can you tell? What are the things that you've done in the past that actually made you take responsibility for your career and actually change how you think things, that those people, you know, everyone could kind of follow the same lead and be more successful?
Yeah, better to stay on 2 legs than on 1. So but be
what
flexible.
What does that mean?
Yeah, if you have only one profession or one programming language, so you will fail if you don't understand the other person or what would be a better solution, but have a better standpoint, but be flexible so that you can move. So yeah, be adaptive. So
that's pretty nice, and especially I think this is really important because we see a lot of really bad discussions on the internet, like, you know, my language is the best, or my IDE is the best, or my whatever is the best.
Or less code, I can program in less code.
I can program less code, or, you know, things like that. You know, I can program less code and more bugs. I'm not sure if that's
no quality in it.
Yeah, you know, that depends. Yeah. So I think that's learning a little bit of everything is important.
And bring value also for you and for the customer. So this will be also good advice.
And how can you bring value to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard, I know.
Yeah, okay. It's especially hard to be in advance for some topics at this time.
Right.
Former times you can read the manual and the night in the hotel and so and be in front, but now the world is turning faster, so especially the technology. So you left behind also in some topics, so you must accept, I think.
Right. Yeah. We had a discussion yesterday about this one question that people asked for the panel yesterday was about the myth of the full stack developer.
Yeah.
And if it is really reasonable that someone has to learn about everything, but I think we can learn a little bit about everything so we can discuss things, but we also need to be some specialists in some things, right?
T-shaped people, I think, is a good model.
T-shaped,
yes. Big shoulders, good stand, and so in all the directions, so something to offer. So.
Right. So just so everyone understands, what is a T-shape?
T-shape. Okay. Have something you're specialized. You can stand.
Right.
You're sure, and something you can look right on the left on the right hand side. Social skills, and method skills, or other architectural skills. So you can have contact with others, not like only to be small in your corner.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
This is a good model.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So you have you have a broad vision and something that you really
go deep and go broad. So this is why I have XL t-shirts. So.
Okay.
To go broad.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. I think this is really good. Let me see if I missed any questions here. So Braz is asking, with the exponential growth of technology, in your opinion, what will be the next top trends in the next few years? Oh, this is always a hard question.
There will be some
top trends.
Perhaps it's going more in the small, like lambdas. So microservices won't be the end. There will be perhaps only one function. But what will be next? It will be only one byte or whatever. So I think these are all good trends. Think small.
It goes. It's small, less complex, easier to understand, but at the same time easier to connect with everything else.
Yep, and it becomes bigger actually after.
It becomes bigger because
like artificial intelligence, for example, right? It will be.
But don't forget, God is in the small things. so it can be really tricky.
Yes.
To get. We have had a discussion about memory, Java memory in Docker. So interesting combination. So to look behind the scenes, and so to get something who can look behind the scenes and explain it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
Thank
so
you.
Frank, thanks a lot for participating with us, and I'd like to thank you for being here with us. Thanks, Ruslan, to be like my co-speaker, my co-host here. Thanks a lot. And we're gonna be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Germany time. We're gonna be again having an interview. I'll send an email to you guys. Thanks a lot for participating. Thanks.
Thank you very much.